Hey Tiger fans, Mark Fitzpatrick, Tiger Club of Kansas City. It's Tuesday, February 26th. Our guest speaker today is Ben Arnet from the Mizzou Network. Ben, thanks for coming out.
Hey, no problem.
You have to get back today for the home opener for baseball. It doesn't feel like baseball season, but hey, always look forward to the sign of spring.
Yeah, we always look at that home opener in late February and wonder, are we going to get that win in or not? Yeah, we will. I mean, the weather's supposed to be great in Columbia today. and
great is relative, right?
You know, we saw the forecast. It was like it's supposed to be between 45 and 50 and sunny, and it's like, well, you can't ask for much better than that on February 26th. But I know they're really excited to get home. You know, the baseball and softball teams always have to go on these mammoth road trips to start beginning of the year, 8 straight for Steve Beezer's crew before they could get home, and they're excited to get home and get outside because they have to do so much of their preseason camp is spent in the facility, whether it's in their hitting cages over there at the stadium, or they'll get to take some infield and stuff over at Divine. So they're happy to get outside. As Coach Beezer keeps saying, we can't wait to get outside and actually be able to, with all the snow we had this winter, get on to Simmons Field and play. They'll be really excited to take on Alabama A&M.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the recent NCAA sanctions. Came out against Missouri. The Tigers have filed a formal notice of appeal. What are your thoughts on the whole process, and what are the chances of getting some relief?
Well, to answer the second part first, you never know. The appeal's been filed. Unfortunately, this stuff tends to get lengthy, and what Jim Sterk has said, and I'll echo that, is 6 months or so. That's bad news because everybody wants it to get resolved quickly. It's good news, though, in the sense that while the appeal's ongoing, the sanctions don't apply. So it's really good for Larissa Anderson's softball team, Steve Beezer's baseball team, to know that as long as the appeal's ongoing, they continue to fight for those postseason berths that we think they'll have great shots at this year. Football, obviously, you start getting into 6 months from now, and it could be middle of season, all that kind of stuff. So that's really hard to judge. But I feel like it's given the coaches a little something as baseball's playing, softball's playing, football's getting into spring football. They can tell the student athletes, block all that out, don't pay attention to the noise, it's being handled. The president, the fans, the state, everybody's behind you. Keep working hard, keep trying to achieve your goals. Everything's still out there for you.
Okay. Spring football just around the corner. A lot of excitement with Kelly Bryant coming in, and the Tigers should bring back a very experienced and have some explosive players.
Yeah, it's going to be an important spring football because, as you mentioned, you've got Kelly Bryant. I think it's pretty well settled that he'll be the starting quarterback, but he's got a lot to learn with this system. Derek Dooley is one of the big reasons why he's here, to be able to work with Mizzou's offensive coordinator. He does have a lot of weapons to work with. Missouri's going to have one of the best, if not the best, backfields offensively in the SEC with Larry Roundtree and Tyler Beatty. Simi Bakari got some time last year. People might remember him at the end of the Tennessee game and that big blowout victory down in Knoxville. He's shown some things. And then you've got some really intriguing young receivers. Obviously, you've got Al Perdot at tight end, but Jonathan Johnson's really leading the charge with guys like Jalen Knox, Cam Scott. Can those guys take it up another level? And then defensively, you've just got a lot of experience back. They lose Terry Beckner, but you've got some real power on the inside of the defensive line with Jordan Elliott and others. And then just a real smart kid in the linebacking core, and Cale Garrett, who leads that group. And I've been out to off-season workouts a couple of times, and you really see that new leadership coming together. There was a potential for a void there with two big-time players with big personalities like Drew Lock and Terry Beckner graduating and leaving the program. Well, you've seen people just step right in there and say, okay, now it's my turn. And that was the message from Drew and Terry. I was in the locker room right after the bowl game in Memphis, and everybody was disappointed with how that turned out. But you had Drew and Terry right there immediately issuing the challenge to the next group of guys. We're gone. When you come back in January, we're not going to be here. Who's going to step up and continue to take this program? And you're already seeing that happen.
Let's turn to basketball. The seasons are starting to get to the wrapping up. Men's team obviously has struggled. A lot of good signs out of the freshmen, though. They've matured, and they lost Jonte Porter before the season started. Looks like we lost Mark Smith for maybe the rest of the season. But I've been impressed the way the freshmen have matured throughout the season.
Yeah, the freshmen are huge. I mean, you're Conzo Martin. You walk into this program, you've got a big rebuild on your hands after what had happened the previous 3 or 4 years. and you essentially have to spend the bulk of your first 2 seasons without your 3 best players. It could be argued between Michael and Jonte and their injuries, and then what's going on with Mark Smith. He's played the majority of his games without his 3 best players. Find a way to make the tournament last year and find a way to keep developing these young kids. I love Javon Pickett. He is understated. He's not a chest-thumping kind of guy. He is the guy that they have to kick out of the practice gym because he wants to work so hard. Derek Chivas, had his number retired last week, and I got to do a long sit-down interview with him, and he mentioned what he thought made him great were the extra hours, and as he put it, not the sucking up hours. Not the, hey, look at me, I'm over here in the gym, and then as soon as no one's looking, you leave. Javon Pickett is that kind of guy. He's in there 24/7. He loves shooting. He loves improving in his game. Torrance Watson, that is huge. I mean, he was the guy who came in averaging over 30 points a game in high school. And when you get to the college level, the vast majority of elite, dominant high school players, no matter what level they came from, it's not going to be that way in college. And that's something that Konzo really was sensitive to in helping to guide Torrance through this freshman season, the ups and downs he was going to have, so he'd come out the other side a confident player, improving. I think we've seen that. And just all of the young guys have really stepped up. I think the future's bright there.
Finally, with Tiger women, tough loss at Auburn on Saturday, and I guess there's some question about Akira Levy about her status for the rest of the season. How are they poised going into the postseason? Yeah,
I'm not sure about Akira. I saw the injury the other day, and it didn't look good. Kudos to her for being tough and walking off the floor with her head held high. That's the kind of player she is. I think anything's possible when you have Sophie Cunningham. She is one of the tippy-top elite players in the country. When you have a player like that, anything's possible. I think they'd like to get some momentum rolling and carry it into the postseason. That would be very good for this team. They've been playing pretty good basketball before that loss on Sunday. The biggest thing for that program right here, right now, is we need a great crowd on Sunday afternoon. Missouri takes on Alabama in the home finale on Sunday at 2 o'clock in Mizzou Arena. If you can make the trip, to send off those 3 seniors. You're not just talking about Sophie Cunningham. Sierra Porter's an amazing story, the way she's come back and she's sacrificed for the University of Missouri. I'm glad that she gets to have that senior send-off. And then Lauren Aldridge is a kid who graduated from University of Kansas in 3 years. I'll let you read into that however you want. Comes to the University of Missouri, goes to law school, and has been one of the leaders. She's one of the kids that keeps this group together. It's been an interesting group. You've had an interesting mix with Sophie at the top, Sierra coming in mid-season, players having to elevate their roles, players having to adjust to new roles, whether it's Amber Smith kind of realizing I've got to be the go-to next year. How does my game change this year? A player like Jordan Roundtree, Billy Roundtree's daughter, coming in about middle of the season, being elevated in the starting lineup. Okay, we're looking for new things, different things, more things from you, and the way she's responded to that. Lauren has been that glue along with Sophie that through this season has kept everything together, and they deserve to have a great send-off. Don't know many law students that are playing Division I basketball. No. Ben, thank you so much. No problem. Anytime. I could talk to you for hours, but you got to get back to Columbia for some baseball. I got to do a baseball game today. All right, Ben Arnet, Mizzou Sports Network. Hey, folks, don't forget, check us out at kctigerclub.com and register for our annual golf tournament. That will be May 13th at Creekmore. Again, for more information, check us out at kctigerclub.com.